Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Weird Together, where we talk about how being weird is the most healing thing you can do. And we're still exploring all the amazing psychics and healers that are coming to the upcoming Central Ohio Psychic Fair, April 11th, the Church of the Sparkling Unicorn. You should come and bring all of your friends and get a tattoo and get readings with Pheonix. So, our guest today is Pheonix LeNoir. Say hello.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so delighted that my friend Stephanie connected us.
She's the best. I love Stephanie. She has such a awesome glow about her that just she's such a loving person. It just brings everyone in her world. If you can connect with Stephanie, it's going to be one of the best things you can ever do.
Absolutely. And it just fits in with like how this fair is coming together. It fits in with the theme of pollination of just like you're randomly talking to someone like, oh, I know someone, let me get you their number. And like all these people are like you are coming to me in these beautiful ways.
Oh, I love it. It's so great to just I can't wait to meet everyone else that's going to be at the fair. And the fact, like you said, pollination, because as we each meet each other, we add to each other's lives and loveliness, and we can just spread all of the pollen around so
I
everyone can be fruitful and pollinated, and I love it.
I love it. Yeah, I'm delighted for the mix of people. But let's learn more about you specifically. So, and we'll talk about osteomancy in a minute, but when did you first realize that you were a magical being?
Well, I luckily, I used to make, well, I still make, but when I was about 12 or 13, there was a store in my town called Rare Earth, and she had fossils and all of the things, and she had a drawer full of beads. And that's how I started. And I went there and I learned how to make jewelry. She hired me at 13 years old to stop people from stealing from her because I went to school with kids and they were stealing and they told me they were stealing. And she was like, hey, do you want to come help me out on an arts festival weekend? So I started with her, and she was one of the best people I could have ever met in my entire life. She was from New Jersey. She was actually the minority in her school, and she just taught me so many things. And I started with her, and one of the first projects I helped her on was making a healing necklace for a man that had cancer.
Wow.
I did not realize that that's what I was doing. I didn't realize that I was in this realm at all until I started there. And then I didn't really realize what I was doing until I was in my 20s.
Wow.
I just knew I had the energy and the vibe. And working with her, I learned so many things. And she just taught me, and I didn't realize I was learning. I had an altercation with one of my coworkers about a tarot deck.
Yeah.
I secured the tarot deck. She didn't. And I have been on my spiritual journey since then.
hmm
And, with my parents and my following with them, my father was from Lynchburg, Tennessee. They grew up very poor. My grandfather raised my father and his two siblings. And my dad knew about what you could eat from outside and foraging. I still have an aunt that doesn't eat brown eggs because she thinks they're poison. But my father, the first thing I learned herbal wise, was how to make poke salad.
Yeah.
And from that, I just grew and evolved into this. I started reading tarot, like I said, when I was in my teens. And probably, I think it was 2018, I went to a festival in Tennessee called Pagan Unity Fest. It's been one of the best things that I've joined. You feel so connected with everyone there. And I joined down there and I was like, wow, I really have this spiritual gift that I didn't
hmm
know what it was. And, like I said, I grew up Baptist. I
Yeah.
got, and then I found out about my spirituality and learning how to forage and the herbs. And I really didn't realize the crystal work that I was doing at the time, until I got a little older and delved into more of my spirituality. So, and with this, I met my mentor for osteomancy
Mhm.
about 8 years ago. And ever since I started with that, it's just truly like it's in my bones. Being bone reading, I definitely connected with it a lot more than tarot. It was just a lot more natural for me.
Yeah. Okay.
And I still do tarot readings for people. I have a couple girlfriends that are like, oh my goodness, call me up. I need some help. And I'm like, can I read your bones instead?
So,
And when I say I'm a bone reader, people don't really get what that is.
yeah, we'll get into that. But first, as a reader, what's the difference with how the information comes through between tarot and bones?
I deal more with the ancestors, not necessarily my ancestors, but my clients' ancestors that are coming for help. We pull their ancestors in, and you have your new ancestors, your old ancestors, and they help us determine what's going on and help give the reading a little more clarity because we're dealing with actually the querent's ancestors and not my ancestors.
Got it. Okay.
So it's really, I guess for me, and I love tarot. I had a complication with, oh my gosh, I have to learn all these cards.
Mm-hmm.
But with dealing with the osteomancy and the bone reading, it just was so much more natural. Like, and I realized I'd been collecting for years.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of those kids that was out picking rocks at the campground.
Yeah.
And then the older I got, I realized I was picking those for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So for the audience that isn't familiar with the term osteomancy, what's the best way to define it?
I define it as I read bones and trinkets. So I've collected several trinkets over the years. And then bones. I just had a natural attraction to that. But you read the bones and the trinkets, they all have their meanings just as
Mhm.
they do in tarot. And I read the clusters and how they sit. I have about 13 things that I pick out when I do a reading. We talk about yourself, your finances, health, travel, relationships, all of those come into play.
And so do bones have a specific meaning assigned to them, or do you intuit the meaning when you meet the bone?
When I was first introduced, yes, everything's supposed to have a specific meaning.
Okay.
But with all things, you interpret those meanings for the extra pieces that you add.
Okay.
So, like I say, my 13 pieces, they are the basis of what I read. And I believe in the way that I was taught, everybody has those basic meanings for those bones. But then you have the sub readings of all of the other things that are attached to those bones.
Okay.
So a bell is happiness. You have certain bones like the the raccoon bone is
Oh.
for relationships. Um, I have bubble shells, and those are bubble shell, and then a different shell are based on family and friendship. So, family is my bubble shell, friendship's the other shell. I also put in place, I have a starting piece that I use, but also I use worry dolls and I let people pick their worry doll. We
Mhm.
bless that. We make that them in the reading and then we read around that. So where that's placed
Mhm.
makes a difference in the reading as well.
So does the worry doll just get tossed in with everything and then lands where
Yes.
they land? Oh,
Yes.
cool.
So
Okay.
they pick their worry doll, they breathe into their worry doll. We ask our question if they have a specific question or if they just want a general reading.
Mhm.
We toss that word all in there as make my spread, and then we look at that and see where that doll sits in the situations.
Mhm.
Because you might be right in the middle of this situation and far away from this one. So it's definitely been a good
Mhm.
um it's more natural to me, I guess, to read that way.
Mhm. And are there any things that it's really well suited for versus there's certain kind of questions that maybe a different reading would be better for?
That's a good one. Let me think about that for a second. Um I love using the combination of osteomancy and tarot for people. You can get a little more of a specific answer. Say, reading the bones, I actually use cowrie shells and we'll toss those for more of a yes or no answer for the situation that you're asking for. And then if we need to delve deeper into it, I'll bring in tarot or playing cards to get a more precise answer on that. And we do that in the deeper reads that we do for people.
Got it.
So, like at the fair, we'll be doing more of a general read.
Mhm.
But if people want to delve more into it, we can get a little more specific by throwing the cowrie shells and bringing in other forms of divination to help clarify.
All right. Sounds cool.
It's so fun.
I love getting readings.
Me too. And as a reader, I find it very joyful to get readings from other people because I mean, sure, you might throw yourself stuff for yourself and read for yourself throughout the daily, but to actually get someone else's view of what's going on and then when it matches up to what you've been throwing, it's like amazing. And when I tell people I read bones, I think people think that I'm going to touch them and feel on their arms and their legs and I'm like, "No, that's not what I do."
Do people ever go conflate it with what is that one, where they would like measure your skull and do the predictions or the
Yes, the cranium readings and I'm like, "That's not what I do." I'm like, "I don't have to touch you."
yeah.
I love to touch people. I'm a touch person. I like to hold people's hands and get together with them beforehand, but I'm like, I'm not like measuring, like you said, I'm not measuring your skull and feeling up there.
Yeah.
Elbows. Like, no, that's not what it is. But I use raccoon bones. I have a muskrat jawbone.
Hmm.
There are several different bones that I use, turtle bones, but I also use like trinkets as well, keys. I have several different little trinkets in there instead of just bones that we use as well when I read.
And do you always go out and find your own bones, or if people are new, is it safe for them to buy bones if they know the good source, or?
If you have a great source and you know they're
Mhm.
definitely harvesting properly, you can buy bones. I've found bones. I've had friends give me bones.
Mhm.
One of my girlfriends was like, "Hey, I found this like tooth. Do you want it?" I was like, "Sure." I haven't added it to my collection yet because I still don't know what tooth it is. But I was like, "Sure, I'll take it." And like I collected stuff. A lot of my kit or a lot of my bone kit are things that I've collected since I was like 10, 11 years old. We used to go camping. I
Mhm.
wandered in the woods. I wandered by the creek. I wandered by the pond and collected several bones and things that I didn't know what I was doing at the time. And then when I found osteomancy, I was like, I've been doing this all my life. And I didn't really realize it.
So, so growing up Baptist, what effect did that have on your relationship to your abilities?
Well, until I got into high school and could actually find my voice to challenge it, um, I was always, all of this I was told was bad. Like you don't do that. You're not supposed to speak on that. And then as I got older and I realized "Hmm, things are a little different. Like I don't want to do this every Sunday. I actually want to do this like every day. And I'm sorry I'm out here hugging trees and I'm barefoot outside. I'm grounding. I didn't know I was grounding until I was 20. I knew I felt better when I kicked my shoes off and went outside.
Mm-hmm.
I knew when I rolled around in the grass and came inside with a rash because I had allergies, I felt way more better touching the earth than
Yeah.
I did sitting in the church. And my mother allowed me to make that decision and not go anymore. And she supported, like, well, what are you doing out there? Well, I'm learning the land. I'm out here. I feel good. I love this. And I didn't realize, like, that I was scared as a child because I was taught to be scared of my gifts. And I would hear people talking to me, hear people saying things to me that weren't there in the visual realm of it. And then when I talked to my father, he
Mm-hmm.
was a little more accepting and he's like, "Oh, that was probably your aunt such and such." What? He's like, "Yeah, go out there and pick some poke. I'll make you some poke salad and teach you about foraging. Come on back in this house." Now, my grandmother on my mom's side
Mm-hmm.
went out every spring and fall with a man from town, and they picked wild greens, and she made her spring and fall tonic
Mm-hmm.
and fed my mom and her sister and my grandpa these things in the spring and the fall, and everybody was healthy and fine and didn't realize like what was really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knew her medicine, she knew her herbs, she knew her spirit, and spirit kept everyone healthy. So, and I didn't realize what I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing all this time until like I said I got my 20s and I was like, "Wait a minute. What is this that I'm learning?" So, it's been a wonderful journey. And now I'm teaching my granddaughters the same journey. So,
Oh, awesome. So you still forage?
I do.
Okay.
We forage in our yard.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend that calls me. He just called me the other day and told me my walnuts are falling. Come get some black walnuts. So, my granddaughter's dandelion time.
Yeah.
I give them each a quart jar, send them out in the yard and tell them to fill it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I send them another jar when the violets are going on. So we make dandelion jelly, dandelion syrup, violet jelly, violet syrup. They love that change when you add it to lemonade and
Yep.
it turns hot pink. So it's been, and I love the fact that I can teach them
Mm-hmm.
on top of everything.
That's amazing. And if you need more black walnuts, I have 11 milk crates full.
Do you really?
Yes. I don't actually eat them. I just like to give them to people.
They make the best pesto.
Yes, I we have made pesto out of it before. I mean, how can you not? Black walnut pesto.
Oh my gosh, so good, so good. But now that I know, I'll be there.
All right. I'm gonna get another so you have to get the special machines to crack them. So I'm gonna actually get a couple extras so we can sit on the back porch and talk and just
And
crack.
processed black walnuts. My dad used to use a vice
Mm-hmm.
because he was a tool man. So he used a
Yep.
vice and then he would use side snip cutters to cut the pieces so he could get them out whole or get the halves out whole.
Mm-hmm.
And my father's been gone for
Mm-hmm.
9 years. And the like year he passed, about a year after he passed, my mother and I still had like the tiniest container of black walnuts. And I was like, "Okay, I'll give you mine so you can make us some fudge for Christmas." So black walnuts for me is a thing. And there's several uses for those too. Like you can take the hulls and soak them and they're great for athletes' feet.
Okay.
Like there's so many things medicinal that you can do with them and use them. It's a wonderful thing, but that's my foraging side coming out. Sorry.
No,
I'm
don't.
like the nerd collective over here, so
No, I get it. I mean, we're just really blessed to have this really wise tree in the backyard that produces so much. And then my neighbor saw me and he's like, "Hey, do you want more?" I'm like, "I guess so." And then like I had to tell him to stop at one point because
like I can't take any more.
yeah, but for me it's a really good meditation to process them because I feel like I get the
It
medicine
is.
just from being with the plants.
Yes.
Yeah, like I was picking some up and I remember the tree. I got this message. She's like, because walnuts, at least in Theta Healing, like the way, we work, um, parasites are all about boundaries and black walnut being an anti-parasitic. She's like, the kind
Hmm.
of boundaries that I help with is the boundaries that you're mad you have to set because they're stupid. I'm like, yes,
Yes.
yes. I'm like, that's really good to know. That is part of the medicine of the black walnut tree. If you're like,
Oh, yes. And I love when people sit with their herb or their plant or their tree or their nuts and just really sit and understand what's
yeah.
coming from that.
And I think that's why I've never taken a class on herbalism because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to retain anything if it's a 3-month course. I'm not great at memorizing stuff, right?
Right. And remember, and that's, I think, one of the things with osteomancy, like, even though there's that slight bit of memorization there, it's not, you have all of these to remember and you have all of this to remember. My set that I use at home has probably over 100 pieces when I do my personal readings, but I have a smaller set that I take with me when I do readings outside of myself.
Yeah.
Um, but knowing all this, it's more intuitive to me
Mhm.
than this means this, like the regiment of things. And you can with osteomancy, I mean everything has its general meaning,
Mm-hmm.
but you take with that meaning what you want. If it doesn't quite mesh up with this,
Mm-hmm.
this is what you read from it. I sleep with my bones. They stay in my bedroom.
Yeah.
They're on my ancestor altar when they can't be
Yeah.
with me. So it just resonated with me so much when I fell into this world of divination with
Mhm.
osteomancy. And it's one of those I was taught by Atalanta Moonfire. She was taught by Lauren Miller. Lauren Miller was brought into it, and you're taught by people in the circle
Mm-hmm.
of it to get your basics. And it's not a very common thing.
It's
You
not.
have so many more tarot readers and um with the osteomancy, you have that ancestral aspect of it because
Mhm.
you're really asking your ancestors to come in and help you and not my ancestors. I'm asking my ancestors might show up, but your
Yeah.
ancestors are the ones that I'm asking to come join the party.
And so with that, do you actually do just regular mediumship ones where you're just trying to call on a particular ancestor, or is it whoever shows up shows up?
For me, it's been whoever shows up, shows up. I haven't had that in particular. Well, and I have had, hey, I think this is your grandma,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more of a general.
Okay.
You ask their ancestors to come forth. Who's going to come forth and help us read this? And then in the reading, too, some of the signs like, hey, your ancestors feel really good about this,
Mm.
or they're not digging this so much. So you might want to find a different route to go. And it's really just how the bones fall.
Yeah.
As with the tarot readings, of course. Like, and when I first started, I found a Mayan deck at the shop that I worked at, and I still use that deck till this day.
Hmm.
And I know people are like, you're not supposed to pick your own deck. I was 13 years old. I don't think that I necessarily picked my own deck. I think my spirits told me to pick that deck, and that's what I ended up with.
And maybe that's where that rumor gets misinterpreted. Like you're not
Mhm.
supposed to use your conscious mind because like there's decks and I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to switch to that one, but I'm like, no, it's always the dragon deck. The dragon deck almost leapt out at me in some
Yes.
shop in Cleveland. And it's like, sort of like the cat distribution system. You don't pick a cat, they pick you. Because like I love this deck, but this is actually I've replaced it like 3 times. This is the third version of it.
You're like, I've worn it out so
I've
many
worn it
times
out so
already.
many times. I mean, there's a fair I did that where there was a lot of sunblock involved and sweat, and so they actually got dirty really quickly. So that
Oh, very oily and dirty.
burned through one, but it was California sun, and you had to protect yourself. Worth it though.
Oh, yes. Gotta keep
Yeah.
us from getting burnt. Yeah, that was one of my. I, as a kid, went to a festival with a friend and his mother, and she's like, you should let me put sunblock on you. And I was like, I don't need sunblock. And then the next day, I called my best friend and I was like, I don't know how you do this. My skin hurts. And she's like, I'm on my way.
No.
And still to this day, she's my best friend and she lives in Florida. And she's like, I need you to come see me. And I was like, I'm bringing sunblock.
Yeah. It's also so fascinating how the sun is different in different parts of the world.
It really is. When I went to Colorado, I was definitely surprised at the sun there. And
Hmm.
my friend was like, you're closer to it. Like, it's a little bit different. And I was like, I'll be fine. And I saw my forehead peeled, my nose peeled. But I love just traveling and being in the world and meeting different people. And like, I'm still so very grateful for Stephanie connecting the two of us because a lot of people don't know about bone reading. It's tarot, it's, all of the things. I also utilize dice in my readings for time frames,
Hmm.
months, years,
Cool.
closeness of things, how relative it's going to come. Uh,
Ooh.
I read about 12 or 13 different things. Like I said, I do yourself. I talk about children, finance, the home and hearth, health becomes involved in there. And
Hmm.
people can ask very specific questions if they want. But I love doing the general read and getting them to think about things and then ask other questions about the read.
Hmm.
And we can throw very specific bones. I can go in and pick certain things out and trinkets and do that reading as well. So,
So I know sometimes my runes don't care about your question. They're going to tell you what you need to know. Do bones also do that?
yes, they do. And it's your ancestors telling you what you want to, it might not be exactly what you want to know, but they're telling you what you need to know,
Right.
just like the runes do. I mean, yeah, I have this specific question, and they're like, that's not what you're really asking.
Nope.
What you really want to know is this, and I'm going to tell you this.
Mhm. So what's your opinion on when somebody comes to you with a third party reading when they're trying to,
We're trying to read what someone else is thinking of them.
yeah, what's my ex doing right now? Is he ever coming back?
Yeah, I
Those fun questions, yeah.
those play a little bit into it, but really the ancestors are going to tell you what you want to hear,
Hmm.
whether you want to hear it or not. Like, no, we're not going to deal with that man
Yeah.
anymore. We've put him over there, or that female, or whoever it is. We're not dealing with them.
Yeah.
We're focusing more on your journey and what you're doing because that person is a thing of the past. And
Yeah.
if your ancestors liked them and wanted you to be with them, they'd still be in the picture. And we're not looking out for what they've got going on in their
Mhm.
world over there.
Okay.
But you get a lot of that. And that's when I turn to my yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
With my cowrie shells, I have three cowries that I'll throw for yes or no answers. So you get two no's. Let's rework the question and see if we can get the answer that you need. And if not, your ancestors are not really working with you in that situation at this point in time, and you need to reevaluate what's going on in that situation.
So, with something you said, exactly how much influence do your ancestors have over who you date?
I don't know that it's really who you date,
Mm-hmm.
but they definitely have a score in reading that person. And if they think that they're supposed to be with you, great. If not, they'll definitely give you your warnings. Like, and with the readings, like some of the bones, when I do readings, bones are marked.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your bones that you read and your bones that you don't read. The way things fall and cross each other in your readings makes a difference too, whether you read them or not. And with like them telling you, yes, no, be with that person, it's more or less they're a little toxic. Like don't deal with that.
Okay.
Leave that vibe alone. But they don't necessarily tell you, yeah, this is the greatest guy ever, because you might be able to change this person, which you don't. We don't ever try to change anyone, but this may work out for you guys in the end. But your ancestors will pretty much let you know,
If they're toxic.
like, yeah, they're toxic. Leave them alone. And as much as we try to make that person not toxic, your ancestors will still tap you on your shoulder and be like, I told you to leave them alone. They're not for you. Even after your readings. And you're like, wait a minute. Who said what now? Did I just get tapped on the shoulder about this situation? Yes, you did. And your ancestors they'll totally let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny who will proceed in readings too, because you'll be like, oh, that may have been. And I'm like, what auntie or grandma did you have that was the one that was very outspoken in life and your situations? Because they're going to tell you, leave this loser alone. Even uncles. Your
Yeah.
uncles will tell you too, leave them alone.
So, outside of a reading, how would you tell people to recognize when they're getting a message from an ancestor?
It's those whispers in your ears,
Mhm.
those smells that are very common to you. And you'll be at the grocery store and smell apple cinnamon. Or, you'll smell your aunt's perfume or your aunt's perfume.
Mhm.
But it's literally, I get the brush across my ear, and it's different for everyone. But I hear a lot of, you'll hear the whisper in your ear, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Go, mm-mm. Girl, turn left. Don't go right. But they will, and I always, it's like that breath, that touch, that smell that I get that I know my ancestors are around.
Yeah.
Because you'll feel it. Like, oh, you'll smell those biscuits. You'll smell those cookies that they made. You'll smell your uncle's cologne. Like,
Mhm.
and there's nobody around.
Yep.
Like it's you, and you get that, and you're looking. It's like, where are they at? But they're always right there with you.
Mhm.
I think your ancestors are always with you. Sometimes they speak up, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they make you work for it a little bit,
Mhm.
where they're like, hey,
Okay.
think about this. Like, check this out.
Yeah. So, what advice do you have for baby witches who are just learning about their magic?
Baby witches, which I was definitely a baby witch and didn't know I was a baby witch. Um, find yourself a source. If you can always find someone that's been in it, and your things might not resonate with each other, but they'll get you on the right path,
Mhm.
like to start you off on questioning your things and where you should go. But baby witches always, when you open the circle, close the circle. When you open a portal, close the portal. Because as baby witch, it was me and two other girlfriends, and we did not know what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we opened it and we didn't close it. And my girlfriend had bats in her apartment for 3 years.
Wow. Oh.
Yes. And I was like, we didn't close that. And that was one of the things that I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
being a baby witch. And
Yeah.
then I went to a festival, and one of the very first classes that I took at the festival was openings and closings and things. And I was like, oh, we never closed that portal. That's why she had bats for 3 years. And then when I came back from that festival, I called her and I was like, I know why you have bats. We didn't do it right.
Wow.
So then I went back to her, and then our other girlfriend that was there, we figured it out. We redid some things, and then the bats were finally gone.
Wow.
But we didn't know because we were baby
Nice.
witches. And always ask, and always look for help from an older witch.
Mhm.
Or I don't know that older witch is what I mean to say. A well
Elderly.
seasoned witch,
Yeah.
maybe. That's got a little more seasoning than you do. But there's always someone out there, and we don't overtly make ourselves noticed sometimes.
Mhm.
So there's always gonna be that person you can ask for help. But as a baby witch, just be very careful. And if you open it, close it.
Yep.
Because we did not. And literally 3 years she had bats.
I apparently in a previous lifetime I opened a portal and whatever came out of it killed me and I didn't get a chance to send it back through until this lifetime. And
Oh,
it's really cool how it came about because it was really beautiful. The thing was just so scared. It kept breaking windows in my new car. And it was part of my initiation into the fairy realm somehow.
oh yes.
The fairies were like, okay, but they're like, but first you've got to take care of this. Like you
Yes.
this thing onto this plane and so all I did was like put him through the portal and close it. And the fairies are like, bing, we're going to teach you some stuff now. Like, okay. My
Yes,
relationship
it's
with
the
fairies,
things. I mean, and we don't know.
we don't
And
know.
everything's fancy and it's pretty and things smell good when you first start doing this, and you don't really realize like what you're doing. And the one thing that I also tell people
Mhm.
too, especially baby witches, is you cannot bend anybody's will. You can't make someone love you.
No.
You you just can't.
Hmm.
And love spells, I think your love spell should be to love yourself because you can't make somebody else love you. Because
Yeah.
if you don't, like they've always said, if you don't love yourself, who else is going to?
I mean, yeah. I'd say the best you can do is a lust spell.
Yeah.
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 Not everything. Yeah.
I might make you want me, but
Yeah.
I don't know the other realm of it. But yeah, and just being mindful about what you're doing as a baby witch is,
Yeah.
and like we said, knowing you can't bend anybody's will truly that way.
No.
You can make a little bit of an influence, but you really can't bend them.
Yeah, like I was watching, I don't know if you watch Sherlock with Benedict
Oh, I
Cumberbatch.
have. Hmm.
The very final episode, because I'm in love with someone who's in the medical field. So if we watch House, he's just going to complain the whole time about how fake it is. So I get to be like up in arms every once in a while. And there's this whole plot where she's like, I reprogram them by talking to him. Like, you can't reprogram against their will.
Mm-mm.
You need explicit permission because that's my day job is reprogramming. But like, you have permission.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
permission for that. Like, you can't just
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna change this. You can't do that.
Yup. So
You
that's all.
can't.
Yeah. No. You can't make people make healthy choices.
No, you can't. As much as you want to, you can make suggestions, but you can never make them actually truly make the choice to do what they need to do.
Yep. Okay, so one other weird topic, just speaking of portals that are open, where do you stand on Ouija boards?
Actually, I was just at a party last night and there was a Ouija board up there, and a couple of the girls were like, "Ooh, let's play with the Ouija board." And I was like, "Ooh, do you really know what you want to do with
Mm-hmm.
that?" Like, it's not a toy, it's not a circus act, it's not,
Mm-hmm.
just something that you see on TV. If you guys are really wanting to do this, you need to really take account. And then I left the party, so I don't know what they did after I left. But also the table was crooked upstairs.
Yeah.
Like, the table literally had a
Mhm.
lean to it, and the Ouija
Okay.
board was on the leaning edge of the table. So I'm like, you're not going to get a true result, even if you do play with the Ouija board,
Mhm.
which I don't suggest that you play with it because it's not something that you play with.
I know.
It's a
And
very serious thing that you're getting into. And with that as well, you have to open that and you have to close
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
And they were like, "Oh, we're going to come up here later." And I was like, "First of all, everybody's been drinking. So what spirits have you taken in?
Mhm.
Because those also make a difference as to what spirits come in.
Yep.
And y'all don't understand that. So let's not play. Let's not play." But my total thing was the table was like this. Let's level the table out so things aren't doing the will of the
Yep.
table. But
Yeah.
also, this is not, and I let them know this is not a game. And they thought it was cute because it was a secret room. It looked like a bookshelf, and then you
Mhm.
opened up the door, and there
Yeah.
was supposedly that room. But it was very tchotchke and
Mhm.
very commercial
Right.
in itself, which is not what we do.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, let's go." No, we're not playing. This is a very serious thing if this is something that you want to do.
Yeah. It's just wild that those were produced for years by a board game company.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Wild. In this country, which has such a complicated relationship to psychics, I know.
And that's, and I've been called weird, and I've been told I'm the devil and the antichrist. And I'm like, no, that's not what I do.
Mhm.
And you hear a lot of people like, people don't want to commune with the dead
Mm.
or their ancestors. But when you say your prayers at night, you call upon those people. But
Yep.
then in the daylight, there that's not what you want to deal with. And I'm like, those are exactly the people you want to deal with. Like, I mean, I was 16 years old, sick with chicken pox, like literally down one whole side of my body, not the other, out of school for a week, fevers every day. Woke up to my grandmother sitting on the edge of my bed, who I've never met,
Mhm.
rubbing my legs and telling me it was going to be okay. And the next day, all of my chicken pox dried up and I was fine. You have those things that happen to resonate with you. And like, when I was a teenager, like, I freaked out.
Mhm.
I literally woke up calling my mother to come upstairs because somebody sat on the end of my bed and they said they were my grandma. And my mom was like, "Nobody sat on the end of your bed." And I was like, "Why is there a butt print on the end of my bed if nobody was sitting on the end of my bed?" Rubbing my leg, telling me it was going to be better. And I'm like, she came to me. That was my ancestor work there. And I had no clue as a 16, 17-year-old kid that that's what
Mhm.
was going on. Then as I got older, I was like, oh, that's exactly what was going on. I mean, my granddaughters come to me and tell me that
Mhm.
such and such came to me last night and told me this in my dream. And I'm like, hmm,
Mhm.
you never even met that person.
Yep.
And the day that my 9-year-old granddaughter was born, she was born in the afternoon and my father passed away that evening. So I
Wow.
tell people they cross paths
Yeah.
because she is my Henri father through and through. Through and through. And she's the most loving, caring thing. but she will also tell you about yourself in a heartbeat. Like, you should probably not do that. I was like, oh, that's your grandpa coming through. And I love that they're not scared. And
Mhm.
that's also something that I love. And I don't know if that's because they learned from me not to be scared about it. But when that energy came to me as a child and being a Baptist kid, that was not what was supposed to be coming to me.
Mhm.
And then the older that I got and realized, oh, that's exactly what was supposed to be coming to me, it made things make a lot more sense.
I think how the family reacts is huge. I was
Yeah.
blessed that when I started talking about ghosts, in front of my mom, she'd go, okay. And like I
Hmm.
could see the terror in her face, but she would like leave the room. And then next time she went to the library, there'd be like a book that would help me deal with it.
Oh, I love that.
So all
No.
she knew was like, I'm not gonna freak out, but
Yeah. And
yeah.
like I'm hoping like at the fair, like I've had this reoccurring dream since a kid
Mhm.
and I've never been able to figure it out. So I'm hoping like coming to this event, like that I can actually get with someone that'll be like, oh girl,
Well,
that's what it is. Cause I've tried. I'm like, I've tried. I've asked my ancestors, like, why do I have this dream? Why is this dream always come to me?
I'll
And they're
just
not trying to tell me, but somebody else is going to.
I'll just put you even next to Tierra.
Oh yes.
I've known Tierra forever. So there's a trio of us that met in Oakland at the Bay Area Healers Market, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're all Ohio girls. And then like one by one, we moved to Ohio. And I texted Tierra, I'm like, hey, come see my new house. And she's like, is this really your address? She had asked me 3 times. I'm like, yeah, it's like a block away from her. But the fact, I know. And the other girl was only like a mile away. So like not only did we all move back to Ohio, but we all moved from the same region. And
And
so
all three of you are in that area.
and we're different flavors of magic, and they've been a great help putting this fair together. So yeah.
Well, and that's what I love too about like what we do
Hmm.
is we can all come from a different path,
Hmm.
but we all respect each other. We love each other's magic and we love what we all do and we all work together.
Yeah.
And if someone were to call me and be like, I need this done, and I know that you do this, I'm be like, hey, let me get you in touch with her.
Hmm.
Hey, let me get you in touch with this person. Like, I think the family that I have found in this community has been the best part of becoming and really honoring and looking into where I am in my path, my spiritual ways, my healing of myself. Because without my friends and my people out in this community, I'd still be a lost soul.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we all resonate so well with each other, regardless of what path we take,
Hmm.
we're all in the same place with it. And we want to help each other and want to help each other heal. We want to help each other help other people heal and do all of the things. Like it's been amazing. I'm also considered a kitchen witch. So my thing is I cook for people.
Oh,
I love to give that love and that flow. And I tell people, I made this with some vibes.
you did.
I'm going to give you the option to eat it or not. Like, this is Sunday dinner, but this is Sunday dinner. Or Saturday dinner or Friday dinner or whatever day it is. It could be Taco Tuesday. I don't care. I'm putting those vibes in it and I'm letting you know I put that extra energy in there to heal you and help you work through.
It's amazing.
Like that's what we do. I think it's been a blessing,
Hmm.
honestly, to meet so many other people when I thought that I was only in a small collective of people. And I realized it's really
Really big.
this big.
And
And the love and the respect and also being African American, melanated in this has not been how do I put it? Not that I haven't been accepted. I've actually been way more accepted than I ever thought in the community. But coming from a Baptist church background community,
Mhm.
this is not at all what you're supposed to do. But to find my people and
Yeah,
then being able to network and find people like you and other people, it's been one of the best things ever.
good.
I'm glad I found my peeps in my community. And I feel loved. I feel hugged. I
Hmm.
feel I'm so blessed to have found such a good group of people to be with.
Yeah,
And
there.
like
Mhm.
you find your family and they're not your blood family, but they're your family.
Yeah. I love my found family. It's been really delightful to get with
I
them.
do too. It's been one of the best things like ever to have the opportunity to do and
Mhm.
be with people and just learn. Like I'm so excited to be a part of the psychic fair and meet so many new people and grow my family.
Yeah, we've got some characters for sure. I met some more characters today, and I'm just like,
Yay!
it actually reminds me of the energy in high school. My table was like all the misfit kids.
Oh
And that's
yes.
how I love, and that's how I love gathering up. I mean, this is called Let's Get Weird Together, so I do like people who are a little bit weirder.
Yes.
I think we
A
make,
little different.
yeah.
I mean, I've been
Yeah.
told I've been weird ever since my first tattoo. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
Yeah,
there's that.
hmm
And then working at the rock mineral and jewelry store, growing up as a teenager, you're weird. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not weird. You're weird. I'm not weird.
Yep.
I've learned some things. And over the years, just to share those experiences with people. I mean, my boss that I met there was probably one of the best people. She really turned me onto the path without
Hmm.
outright turning me onto the path. Dealing with the crystals and the healing stones, and we made the pendant for the man that was dying of cancer. And we made that pendant. There were three of us that put our energy into that pendant for that man. And he lasted 10 years longer than he was supposed to live.
Yeah. Pretty magical.
We did our magical thing, and I didn't know I was magical at that time. I didn't know. And then as I got older, I was like, man, we really performed an art of magic for that person.
Yeah, I did.
And without working with that lady, and she comes to me still, she's passed away since. And I was walking past a table at a flea market, and there was this strand of pearls, which I was like, those are fake. She tapped me on the shoulder and said, if you don't turn around and go get those pearls, because they're real. And the lady was like, I only want $9 for them. I was like, really? Here's 10. Keep the change. I walked away and Nicole told me in my head, rub that against your tooth. Oh, that's a real pearl. You just brought a strand of pearls for $9. You gave the lady 10.
Yep.
And my dad also tapped me on my shoulder that day, like, girl, if you don't turn around and go back and get those pearls. And it was one of those like, okay, they're speaking. They actually do speak to me. They do. And I just have to listen. And I think if a lot more people slowed down and listened,
Hmm.
they'd have so much more coming to them than what they really realize.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those, I don't know, my grandbabies make me realize things and then I make them realize things and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, grandma, oh. Yeah. I do a festival in Tennessee called Pagan Unity Festival.
Hmm.
I've been a part of it since probably 2015, maybe. And just last year, I took my grandkids for the first time. And when we left the venue, they're like, when's the next one?
Wow.
So my 9-year-old granddaughter has, for months since school started, been like, when are we going? And they have a kids area, and they it's a wonderful experience. And the kids all learn all of the things, and they love each other. And before you leave for the weekend, that's my best friend. I need your address. What's your contact information? I'm like, first of all, none of y'all have YouTube. And we're gonna write letters to each other. You're gonna learn the skill of penmanship and that your words mean something. And you can find some of your best people. I was like, let's bring back pen pals.
Let's do that.
All those stamps are crazy expensive, but let's bring back pen pals. I want you guys to know each other. And they're so excited that they're going to see their friend that they met there last year,
Mm-hmm.
this year. And we have to write her and her brother a note because they're twins, and we need to let them know that we're coming, and we're going to have this family time. And it's wonderful. And I don't know, this has been probably one of the best communities coming into all of this and meeting everyone that I could ever hope for. And I hate that it took until I was like 50 to really appreciate all of it, but I've got that much more to go now.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Time also moves so much differently when you're tapped in and when you
It
found
does.
peace and when you found your community.
It does. It
Yeah.
really, really does. And I've just been so blessed to come across such a great community of people. Like, I would have not met you without Stephanie.
Yeah.
And here she thought I read tea leaves. And I'm like, no, I read bones. And my favorite is people are like, so you're gonna touch me and feel my arm and my elbow? And no.
Yeah, I've when I tell people I read tarot, they'll give me their palm, and I'm like, no. But
They're like, I know a little bit about that, but that's not my niche. You should go see such and such because they'll read your palm.
we will have a palm reader at the fair. So
Yay! I'm just so excited and blessed to be an experience to help
yeah,
to be involved in this experience. It's just I'm so excited.
it's gonna be fun, and like I am kind of getting ideas for the next one because it's always going to be a whole different vibration. Like we're going to tap into a different plane of existence. We're going to, so we're going to be cycling through different readers and different feelings. So everyone's going to be unique. And that's just because I come from a theater background. So I can't
Yes. And
be, yeah,
that's what I love that's gonna make this experience so unique is because
yeah,
you have so many different vibes and so many different like planes that people can join and figure out, okay, I like this. Ooh, I don't like this. Ooh, but I love this.
you, and you can
I'm
get,
gonna join this. And I think it's gonna be such a great time. And I can't wait to meet everyone and just be in the energy of it all as well. Because I know the energy is gonna be abundant and overflowing.
yeah.
All the good stuff.
Our listeners, April 11th, 2026, in case you listen to this in
Yes,
the future, come check out,
come see
Sun
us.
Ohio Psychic Fair.
I'm
Check
so
out
excited.
Phoenix LeNoir and get an osteomancy reading.
Yes.
Yes. And if they don't come to the fair or they miss it, or if you're just so booked up that they can't get a reading with you, how do they get a hold of you?
They can contact me. I have phone. They can reach out to me, or they can reach out to me on my email. Phone is 740-803-1271. Email, even though it's not Phoenix Lenore, it's Margaret Shelton 3 at gmail.com.
Okay.
They can reach out to me and we'll book some stuff. And if you come to the fair, I'm offering a discount with because of the fair for people that want readings. I will honor the fair price
Mhm.
for readings for like a month after if they want to contact and reach out, just so people can get a taste and a touch of what's really going on.
Right. So amazing.
Yay. I'm so excited to do this. I really, like I've told you, I appreciate the opportunity and I'm just so grateful and thankful to be able to vibe with a new group of people here in Ohio because
Yeah.
I didn't know we had such a good circuit of folks in Ohio. So I'm very happy for the opportunity to be with other readers and other healers and really vibe out in this community and help to make it reach out to so many other people.
Mhm. All right. Yeah. Ohio's low key magical.
It is,
We got
which a
it.
lot of people don't know. Look at Lake Erie and all the crystals that we have going on here.
Yeah.
If you go to Put Bay, there is
Mhm.
the place with the amethyst vault that they do their wine in.
Oh, you got me at okay. It's a winery I haven't been to. Okay.
Oh, girl,
Hmm?
let's make that a trip.
Let's do it. Oh, girls trip after the fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
local girls trip. Yeah, there's a winery and they store underground and it's
Mhm.
supposedly an amethyst cave.
Okay. Twist my arm. We're going.
Yeah, so let's
Okay.
make that happen. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak with you and you to put this out to other people. And I really, really appreciate it. And I can't wait to meet you in person.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
a hugger, so you're going to have to give me a squeeze.
Okay. I'm giving you consent now to come hug me. Yes, and thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday to
Oh,
chat with me. And
thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate you. And I can't wait to see everyone on the 11th
yeah, all
at
right.
the Church of the Magical Unicorn. I'm
Perfect.
so excited.
It's a delightful place. All
Oh,
right.
I can't wait.
And to all my listeners, make sure that you're liking, subscribing, and all those things, and just telling your friends that it's cool if they're weird. And we'll see you next time.
All right. Love the weird people. Thank you. And I will see you soon.